welcome to another Sunday night at the flights with Kazaki Flyer 66. And we're going to finish the flight we started last week and had to call because of darkness. It got so dark we couldn't barely see the hand in front of our face. If this runway hadn't been lit, we wouldn't have found it. So tonight, we're going to continue we've reloaded our wedding party back on. For them, it's only been one night, but for us, it's been 7. Now, we've loaded them back on and all their party supplies and everything that they want to carry. And now we're going to ferry them out and up to Niagara Falls, and then we're going to take a little tour of the area. But first things first, we need to start our engines. And for once I'm able to start without reconnecting everything. Let's get inside here. All right, let's go through all the correct steps, see if we can remember here. Well, first we need to get our fuel turned on. And I have to go around this the hard way. Like everything else in my life. Okay. Put the mixture back a second. Select the right main tank. Okay, mixture to full rich. Throttle's back. And I want the left, let's see, move that up out of the way for a minute. And left main. Now we'll put that back down there. All right. Now let's see. Let's get back to where we can see everything. We want to look at our main panel overhead now. Start clicking all the switches. We want our battery on. We're going to hold off on the avionics for a minute. Beacon on. Passenger lights on. Position lights on. Hold off on your landing lights. Pitot heat on. It's springtime and almost summer, but we're still going to turn it on. Okay, magnetos to on. Both, yeah, they're set for both now. Right side, left, right, and both. Okay, booster pumps to on, please. Yeah, they're actually feeding fuel toward the engines now. While I'm thinking about it, let's go ahead and open that valve. Move the arm out of the way. Give it several pumps here. All right. Move the arm back. Close the valve. Okay, it's draining off pretty good, but it'll build back up once we get started here. Now, the first couple of times we crank it, it won't catch, but it will catch eventually here. So be patient. Right engine, energizer, begin. We'll start it to hear it whine. When it finishes winding up, hit the mesh button and the right primer. didn't catch that time. And you can watch our RPM drop back down as it winds back down. Let's give it a go again. Right start energizer. Wait for it to build up. Mesh. And right primer. Come on, click. Nope. Didn't go fast enough. It's a little, you got to be a little bit coordinated here. Energize. Mesh. Primer. Oh, come on, baby, catch. There we go. Pour and exhaust out. Okay, we wanted to let the engine warm up a bit. So we're going to pull it to back to about, there we go, right at under 1,000 RPM. Now we want to start the left engine. Yeah, I saw where you'd posted about that, Viper Strike. I hope you're proud, because that's an epic flight, Betty. Anytime you can go that far and be that patient, the landing makes it very rewarding. Okay, there we go. Mesh, left primer. Nope, didn't catch. We'll get it. Right generator on. Spin her up there, pal. Okay. Now, mesh. Come on. I have to play with my throttles just a little bit to get her to catch. And that one didn't get over to the primer fast enough. If it was easy, anybody would do it. I think we caught this time. RPMs are climbing. 1,200, 1,300. Well, we'll bring her back to about 940 or so. Okay, then we'll here. I want to turn my avionics on. Landing lights. Got on the left-hand generator. My cowl flaps are open. Excellent. Left main, so we can read how much is left there. The engine, of course, is warming up the whole time here. Get my feet on the pedals here before we do this. Actually, to pull down the fire extinguishers. Here we want to hold the brakes on. Now let's see what it's got for a METAR for us. We'll use the in-game and see. If not, we'll use another source. Let's see, 080 at 6 knots. So we want to use a runway 9, I believe. Now, where you go? Double check the, yep, 09. Release the brakes anyway. Get over here on the taxiway and start to cruise over, just so that everybody remembers. This is where we landed last Sunday night. This is Kilo Hotel Zebra Yankee. Okay, now we're taxiing down to the end of the runway here. Well, we haven't had the issues we started with last time. We actually didn't have to restart the whole computer at the last second. And we're starting early enough in the day that we won't run out of daylight, because the scenery is worth showing off. I hope the weather up there wasn't too bad for you. The Aleutians are known for the not kind weather. They still haven't found some of the wrecks from 80 years ago up there. As if the wartime action wasn't bad enough, nature was out to get you too. Oh, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do that. Make sure my lights were on. I'm lucky I can remember the steps to start the engines on this bird. But I love the sound of a good DC-3. Now we could take the intersection here and just go from here, but we'll go to the end of the runway. Well, at least for once, the windsock agrees with the actual winds from the METAR. Knock on wood, because that doesn't happen that often. Once we get airborne, those people in the back can start having their fun as we get closer to Niagara. Oh, we went the wrong way. You know what? Yep, the windsock is opposite. This is 27, not 09. Well, it's low enough. We'll go from here. Power coming in. And no, I did not. I did not forget to block the tail wheel. Tail up. Do the rudder dance. And get her up in the air. Come on. You can do it. Well, hear her shake and rattle. Now we get the gear up. Flaps are up, gear up. We're good to go, except we're going the wrong way, I think. Okay, watch your nose over there. Trim up a little bit. I'm going to take advantage of good old comfort. That didn't work right. That'll do. Okay, positive rate. Now let's look at our map right quick. Okay, we want a heading of 64 degrees. Here we go, 64 degrees. There's Lake Erie up there. Get her feet off the pedals so she'll respond to the Sperry, right? All right. Here we are, 1,900 feet. Let's hit our B and D key. That resets our gyro compass and our altimeter to the correct barometric pressure. Which is showing at 30.35 or so inches of mercury. So it's a high pressure system outside. Hey, Viper Strike, if you're still with us, did you get as far as Dutch Harbor today? I'm sorry I didn't tune in myself. I was I was watching some plane spotting out at LAX. Okay, so are you going to try to go to Dutch Harbor next week, or are you going to push on to Anchorage? If you go to Dutch Harbor, you'll really like the approach. Okay, Cold Bay is nice. If you ever get a chance, shoot the approach into Dutch Harbor. It's beautiful, and two, it's fun. And as you follow along the coast of Alaska, I find that Ketchikan is always a gorgeous spot to go. We used to have, back in FS9, we had some payware scenery that added all the fishing camps and all the little log cabins and ranger stations all around Ketchikan. And it was fun to take aircraft like the Beaver and, well, just the Piper Cub. Anything with a V-stall capability, and you just go from fishing camp to fishing camp. And deliver hunters, fishermen, and I can speak English. Matter of fact, there were a couple of actual salmon canning facilities up there in the scenery. Oh, isn't Ketchikan beautiful? In real life, it's even more amazing than it is even in this simulator. All right, now we can get outside, and as they can see, we're carrying everybody with Firefly Air. We had to fly in a different DC-3 this week. Gosh, I love our servers. One name tag on the whole Great Lakes. Usually this place is crowded. I know they're there, it's just not showing the tags. Uh-oh, who's that? think that's a friend trying to get some time into an airliner. Because he's way up there. Unlike us who are way down here in the dirt. Well, I hope you really get to. I hope you get to take a real one up there, Viper Strike. It will be one of those events of a lifetime. Your memories will last you until your old age. I'm still haunted by one of the most beautiful things I ever saw was me and one of my college roommates were flying from. We'd rented an Archer II at Prescott Slove Field, and it was after class on a Friday night. I'd say it was probably about 6:30 or almost 7. And you got to remember, this is probably late October, because this was a little bit before Halloween. And just to kill a little time, we were planning to spend the evening walking around the Sky Harbor airport terminals, because it was kind of like a mall. And then we'd fly back to Prescott. Well, we rented the plane, did the pre-flight, got everything done. He did all of his chart stuff. We actually had to drop a dime and phone in the flight plan. And then we just got in the airplane and made sure we were fueled up, and we took off. I guess it was probably maybe 45 minutes from the time we decided to go to the time we were in the air. Well, we started off. We got up to about 8,000 feet, so we could clear all the hills, and then the clouds started to roll in. They were coming up from the south, so they rolled in fairly quick. And, well, at the same time, the sun was starting to set in the west, and we had a full moon rising in the east. So if I really wanted to do some research, all I'd have to do is look up October 1984 and see when the full moon was. Oh, there's hashtag 16. Boy, everybody just blinked out. Well, we were flying down there, and I looked out the window, and all you could see were the cloud tops, because we were just above we were probably maybe 500 feet above the cloud tops. And we were just sitting there, and I think we were both in awe, because the setting sun was just hitting the cloud tops just right. Everything was orange and pink, and the full moon was rising in the east and just above the clouds and swollen in size. This was before the age of digital cameras, so we didn't have the ability to take the pictures that we would have loved to. We didn't even have cell phones. Okay, well, we flew down to Phoenix, and we walked around the mall for about 2 hours. I should say the terminals. We parked in general aviation parking and just took the inner airport bus or shuttle to the terminal. We walked around for about 2 hours, and then we went back to general aviation ops and found out that Prescott had been closed due to weather. They were fogged in so tight they were socked in, so they went ahead and closed the airport. So, yeah, I'm just making a little course adjustment here. Pretty much, we're just following the edge of the lake here, Lake Erie. Matter of fact, we're coming up on Erie, I believe. Check the map. Hello, map. Yep, this is Erie, New York. Next big town we'll be looking for is the town of Dunkirk, New York. Not to be confused with Dunkirk, France. But Prescott had been closed, so luckily John had a little bit of money in his wallet, so we split the cost of a hotel room that night, and Saturday morning we got up relatively early, went and got our weather brief, waited through luckily the fog had burned off that morning, and we were able to fly back to Prescott. Now, the time on the rental clock was maybe 45 minutes. The owners only charged us for 30 because of the weather. And this is the great part. Back in 1984, renting an Archer II was $30 an hour. Try that today. That's with fuel. That was with fuel. This is a nice city. Really nice waterfront. Got a nice enclosed little bay. Colonel Fork is on the descent now. He's down to 22,000 feet and descending. Meanwhile, we're just putting around here. Now, one thing I should have done right after takeoff I don't want to get there too fast. Last week wasn't fast enough. This week going a little bit too fast. There. Approximately 2,400, please, on the RPM. Okay, it's showing 2330 or so. There we go. That's got at least got them balanced out. Should have done that right after takeoff. Lucky I didn't burn out an engine. but because it wasn't rattling at me, I wasn't paying attention. If you're going too fast, she'll rattle at you. I think one of our party back behind us in the back of the airplane has expressed an interest to take a closer look at the Niagara Falls area. So, because we don't have a helicopter rating, we have arranged for a small ultralight to just go up and take a look. OBS got an update just before I was going ready to go live today, so I had to update that. I'm just glad it didn't kill off my NDI connection. Oops. There we go. Wish the sim wouldn't scare us like that. Yeah, this is upper New York State. You can actually see right up to the lake, you can see the hills begin here. Those hills turn into the Poconos and Adirondacks of New York. And tonight, all we got to do is watch our map, get us to Niagara Falls. And then we'll take a look at the wonderful scenery that Jepson has made for us. Which I couldn't help. I went looking for some of the Easter eggs myself. And there were so many, I couldn't find them all. I'm sure there's a lot of people that will, but I'm not one of them. Ooh, bit of a wind gust there. Okay, straightened up. Hey, what are we coming up on? Okay, we are coming up on Dunkirk, right up I-90 here. That's Kilo, Delta, Kilo, Kilo. Basically, we'll just keep following the interstate here and the edge of the lake. That'll carry us right into Buffalo, New York. There's the interstate right there. You see a little traffic moving on it. I turned that back on, at least a little bit. Oh, Colonel Ford, that's awesome, man. At least you can have spaghetti. I gotta admit, I blew my diet clean out of the water last week. I actually had Italian. What would I got lucky? It didn't spike my sugar or anything. It just tasted like a bit of heaven. I got lasagna instead of anything else. I'm about pizzaed out. Well, I think this was the treat. I think the only thing more bad for my health would have been having a steak. A big, a big porterhouse, or better yet, a good ribeye. Better stop thinking like that, or I'm gonna get myself so hungry I can't stand it. Let's keep following on interstate here as we head up toward Dunkirk and Hamilton on our way to Buffalo. Now that would be a game integration. I looked down and saw a tractor trailer on the interstate, and truck sim hooked into flight sim. Colonel Fork, don't feel bad. All it did was remind me of how good it was. I got really lucky that the the person that gives me a ride around was able to let me have a treat like that. We're flying up the railroad tracks anyway. Boy, I think the Romans laid these railroad tracks. Those are straight. Let's see, let's check on Colonel Fork back up there. There, he's still in sight. He's down to 14,000. Awesome. This week's has seen a plethora of freeware warbirds, and I've been happy clam. They may not be the best modeled or flight models or have the best cockpits, but I'm absolutely loving that they updated our Devastator by Douglas, and they gave us a Junkers JU-87. And the same guy gave us a Focke-Wulf 190A4. And that has been absolutely entertaining to fly around. All right, man. We'll see you there. That is one of our nav points, so we'll be flying over K-Buff. We're actually headed for, let's see, look it up. Kilo India Alpha Golf is where we're headed for, where we're going to switch aircraft. Because we want something a little bit slower to explore the scenery with. That's weird, such a big road right next to an interstate. Well, maybe they've got the population to support it. see if I can get some tunage going for these quiet moments. Not as easy as I thought. That's a great song, Colonel Ford. If I stopped recording my VODs, I could play whatever I wanted. Let's get my ugly mug off of here for just a second. Just enjoy the aircraft. Okay, here off to our right is Kilo Delta Kilo Kilo. That's not our right, that's our web. And there goes hashtag 16 again. I swear, the Swiss cheese gets worse every day. Who am I? What day is it? this is actually the best way to do this show. Now nobody has to see my ugly mug. I'm curious what my fuel situation is doing here. Okay, we've got approximately 120 gallons left in the mains, plus full reserve tanks. There, we cleaned it up just a little bit. Must have been a good day for yacht. I hate having to fish through all my views to look at what I want. And just for fun, we'll put the camera back on. Remember, Colonel Fork, you want to make your noodles just al dente. Don't cook them too much. Always annoyed me about macaroni and cheese. People wanted to cook the macaroni too much. I didn't do that. Rebalance my engines, one of them jumped. Check our map. Okay, we're approaching Hamburg Incorporated Airport. That's literally what it's called, Hamburg Incorporated. For Golf 2. It's a paved runway. And it's right up against I-90 and 18 Mile Creek. The skies may be clear, but winds aren't. Winds are kind of bumpy. Well, I see a horse track right next to the runway. Yep, that's for ponies. Probably sulkies. It was funny. I was raised around sulkies, and when I was 9, they tried to get. We had a track day, and they tried to get me into the track and wouldn't let me in. I was underage. There was gambling on the premises, so they couldn't let a minor in. And in one of the more fun events of my childhood, of course they didn't let that stop us. They snuck me in under the fence. Right back by the paddock. Nobody ever said a word. I helped hook the horses up and get them ready to run. And at the time, I thought it was kind of silly, but Ops was dressed in his silks. Okay, there, now. We've pretty much gotten to Buffalo. Let's check Colonel Ford's progress. There he is. He's at 3,000 feet. He's on final. Probably trying to find the ILS. What bearing to Buffalo? Degrees. Okay, that should take us right to Buffalo Airport, or the Buffalo Air Base, should say. Marked on the map as Buffalo Niagra KBUF. That's marked as an international. I didn't know that, Colonel Ford. That's nice to know. I wondered where they all came from. I know Grumman gets built in New York, down south on Long Island. There's currently a factory where their old airport used to be. That's where the F4F and F6F were built. And most of the Grumman geese were also built there. Okay, I can see KBUF ahead of us. I'm just going to overfly it. We're going to head on up to Niagra. Pick up. Come on, recover. Thank you. Okay, runway 5. That's the one we'll be passing over right quick. I can see Colonel Ford's lights. I'm on to heading towards Niagara. Bearing 331. Good luck with your landing, Colonel Ford. One thing that's nice is it is an Embraer. Now there he goes. Just crossed the interstate. He's making it look good. I may be one of the few people left, but I haven't picked up the Astro yet. I should. That'd be almost the perfect aircraft for this. You want to call that little thing an aircraft. Now there's a college football team logo if I've ever seen one. We are how far out? 6 miles. Time to start easing off on those throttles. I can see our destination ahead of us. We'll make an overhead join, do one left-handed pattern, and pick our runway. Might help to check the METAR. It says its winds are calm here, so it won't matter where we pick. Let's see, let's fill off the tune here. All right, let's pay attention to what we're doing. Go ahead and drop our gear. Get our feet up on the pedals here. Push the magic button. Click. There you go. Thank you. Add some power back in. Don't want to get too far down there. Well, welcome to the Niagara International Airport. Okay, here's our overhead join. We're coming in now. Gain a little bit of altitude here. And what we're going to go for is 2-8 right, looks like. Fly up to the runway. And enter our downwind. Okay, 97 knots is good. Watching our instruments close. Thank you, Viper Strike. That's wonderful. Ooh, yeah. She's the last one of her class. I think she's the last cruiser in existence, at least in her World War II condition. Okay, there we passed our runway. We'll turn on onto our crosswind section. Watch our speed. Want to keep enough speed in the turns to not gain or lose altitude. Okay, we're turning downwind now. We'll run parallel to the runway here before we turn onto our left base. Somebody bounces down the runway. that off for a minute. Get our visibility up as wide as possible. Let's go out a little bit before we turn base. Road looks good. Use that rooftop as a visual reference. We'll turn to our left base. And turning to final now. Lined up on the runway here. And start easing our throttles down. Trim, give it a little bit of down trim as well. Flaps 1, please. A little bit late, but better than ever. Pick our landing zone. Flare. And touch. Correct our flaps. And let's taxi to the taxiway and clear the runway. LRM gave us a reading on that. $177. I'll take that. And that's the GA side. Let's get off the runway here. Make our taxi turn. Dodge the forklift that's on the taxiway. Now that's just a Star Wars mind playing tricks on. For a second, it looked like a tauntaun out there. Just the way the pixels were moving. here we are at Niagra. We'll stop. Set our parking brake. Set our chocks. Open our doors. And cut our engines. And shut down the aircraft. Magnetos off. Heat off. Lights off. Avionics off. And battery off. We've got our doors open and our stairs out for our wedding party to disembark here. Now we will see what parking spot we are in. If it corresponds with the parking spots for, okay, we're approximately at 110. Now let's reach it from here. A bit of stretching involved as we grab an ultralight for this step in our journey. Let's have fun with this. Have you been to the Little Rock yet, Viper Strike? I've been to the Alabama and the Drum and to the North Carolina, but I haven't been lucky enough to go to any of the carriers. Although they do have the USS Kidd in Shreveport, and I've driven past that. I didn't stop. I wish I had. Well, that's close enough to where we were, I think. Click that as departure. Aircraft selection. Don't want there's what I want. Something small, light, and with good visibility. We'll take the red and white one. Gas her up. All right. I'm just going to go ahead and click fly because we don't have a destination. We're going to stay local. And if you can keep us on the runway all the way to, or keep us on the ground to get onto the runway, that'll be a miracle. This little airplane will take off from just about anywhere. Yay, ultralights. Yes, the USS Kidd is in Baton Rouge. She actually is the only ship entitled to fly the skull and crossbones in the U.S. Navy. She's a pure Fletcher class destroyer. She doesn't even have any of the post-war refits done to her. She's just the way she was back then. Now, see, for those of you lucky enough to get to FS Expo this year, you're going to be very close to go to Galveston and be able to see the. Why didn't it put me in the parking spot? I selected a parking spot. Oh well, we'll take the runway. Silliness. Saves us the trouble of having to do a start. Let's see where we want to go. Look at your map and read the map. Oh, one thing, it put us at the wrong airport. That's fine. Only 18 miles to where we're going. All right, let's go. And we're airborne in our little bitty ultralight. Give her some socks here. And of course the stutters start. I can fix that. Goodbye, LRM. Now, right, go now. Yes, that doesn't work anymore. Okay, we want 310, please. Use our heading bug to tell us where to go. Basically, go east of the river or west of the river and follow the river. Helicopter, I'll bet. I just can't get the hang of those. I just don't have the fine touch to handle that collective. Why we're so high at 1,000 feet. Start easing our way back down again. Now, that number number of name tags looks like it's normal for this part time of year. A lot of suburbs. Hey folks, get used to it. We've got a chainsaw above you. Sometimes you just got to go really slow. This is the perfect aircraft for it. There's some guys getting in some squadron practice, or hopefully trying to. 3 F-18s together. Whee! There you go. That looks like either a VA home or a funeral home. Look at all the baseball fields. That's always a good. I love seeing baseball being played. Okay, Adams Field. Something we can't do in the sim, but we can't do if we were actually in this aircraft. Check our map. North Tonawanda, part of town we're over right now. Buffalo, Niagra all run together up here. It may take us a while to get there, but hey, Viper Strike, I haven't been keeping up with the scorecard recently. I need to get ESPN so I can start watching again. And there went the throttle control. At least we're on a positive climb. Okay. So much for the update. Okay, let's see if that works. Well, it put us off course, that's for sure. All right. Now just follow the river and hope everything stays together, folks. Somebody is in the Astro. Sorry, but I wish I had it so everybody could see it. A lot of the colors on that thing are really cool. Well, there's my task for the week. And empty out my wallet some more. Get the Astro. Luckily, it's not a big hit on the wallet. Okay, we're just going to follow the river here. We're on the east branch of the Niagara River. All antennas. This is what I get for not paying attention where my spawn point was. Because this is a lot farther to go than I'd intended. But we get to see a lot more of the countryside and a lot more of the Buffalo, Niagara area of New York. Okay, does this actually start on, are we over into the Canada side yet, or still in New York? No, we're still in New York. Canada side isn't for a little bit yet, until we join up with the other branch of the river. Yeah, it's not bad, but I just haven't picked it up yet. I'm not sure if I like the idea of electric aircraft depending on a battery. I know it's a very efficient battery, but and I have some friends that have Teslas, and well, they love them, but I'm just an old-fashioned coot. And I don't like the idea of jet F-18, very loud. Well, we can at least see the skyline of where we're going. We want to drift over to the other side over there. Stay on the American side. Yes, folks, that's over there on our left. That's Canada. Have a beer, eh? Exploring New Zealand again, Viper Strike. You can't go wrong with the New Zealand scenery. That's beautiful. Start our descent a little bit. Oops, that didn't look good. Little Astro flies, but not so well upside down. Boom, there he goes. Forwards, backwards. They say that, now, just going by the PR for it, I'd say that you can do some really spectacular stunts with it. Okay, I can see why there's a little island around the electrical tower. But a cell phone tower right in the middle of the lake. Okay. Oh, great. We're on the upside. We're upriver. I can actually start hearing it now. I'll admit, this scenery makes me smile. There's the mist starting to form. I think you should be able to hear the background roar building up. Well, here we go, folks. We'll come back and look at it the other way. There are the people in their raincoats and their slickers as on the tourist boats. Here they are down there. Think we're going under. And under we went. Oh, your viewers are going to love it, Viper. Your viewers will really love this place. I just hope when you get here, you're a little bit better with a helicopter than I am. Okay, we're going to do something stupid here. We're going to go past the bridges here. Cut our throttle back. Coming about. Fly a little bit up here and take a look at what we're looking at here. Okay, back down in the valley here. I'd like to have that house. Wow, what a view. Now, some of the photogrammetry like that looks like melted wax. And then we get to Jefferson scenery. Ooh, a Ferris wheel. Look at what we really came to see, the falls. That little platform has a cave that goes in behind the falls. Oh, wow. There's a shipwreck. And a very large parking lot. They have a casino. Hello, Maid of the Mist people. Okay, there's a tram down there. Leads people from the tourist boats up to the top up here. See it starting to come back up, and one's going down. Somewhere around here there's a train. Don't hit the Sheraton. They want to stay in the hotel, not crash into it. Water park. There's Planet Hollywood down there. Let's see if we can find a train. There's the railroad tracks, I think. Nope, that's the highway. Truck. Yeah, Jefferson 2001 hit it out of the ballpark again. With this scenery. That would get old real quick for me, having a roar like this in my ears all the time. we're going over here to look at this ride that they have on the Canadian side. That parking lot got chopped in half. You can see the people riding up and down on this. It takes you up, up, up into the air, and then it drops you. No, that's a big qualifier. Nope, I'll get on an airplane and ride around and do all kinds of crazy things. But get on a ride like that? No. That's the kind of factory I'd expect to find in a movie like RoboCop or some other dystopian future. Well, there's a railroad track. Scratch my nose. See if we can see where the railroad tracks go. Fly by the casino again. Place your bets. Oh, there's no telling what the signage says. There's a pretty good sized little field. I can think of several people. I can think of one person I wouldn't mind getting stuck with at the top of the Ferris wheel. Art, history, and sand. Nope, those are power lines over there. And yes, the boats do move around a bit. That'd be a perfect spot to land it with a helicopter. You can probably get there with an ultralight too, but I'm not that good. I'm kind of glad I did break this event into two parts. This would have been totally boring to show off in the dark. Although, hold on just a second. Let's do a little treat here. Hit that. Click that. Just for a few minutes. Click that. Okay, now this is an interesting sight to see. That's pretty. We're not even there yet. Look the way it's got it lit up. That's just beautiful. well-lit marina. Rent a boat. If you pay them enough, they'll probably give you a barrel. Here's what's disturbing. This ride goes in the dark. Nope. Whoa. Plenty of pools to swim in. Yeah, I don't have clothes. Here's an interesting effect. Let's see. This doesn't do it. We'll try to time it so that it does. Nope, it worked. Whee! This is the perfect ad. This is the perfect addition for around here. Boom. That was right in front of our airplane. See, get her to go a little bit faster here. Had our little tour here. Never did find my train. We'll come back here in a helicopter after I get some practice in one. And we'll take a closer look, see if we can find the train. fireworks over Buffalo. Even more off in the distance back there. And there's those right behind us. Okay, let's start descending. Okay, we're at 1,800 feet. We want to get down to about 1,000. We don't want to blow it when we're on final here. But New Year's Eve, we usually fly up here with Scruffy Tam on New Year's Eve. So we get to see the fire. We're used to getting to see the fireworks up here. But now we've got so much more to see along with our fireworks. Okay, down to 1,200 feet. Keep cutting our throttle back. The only thing I really don't like is I can't see the power lines right now. We're just going to stay high enough to stay clear of those. Okay, final. Okay, we're down to 35 knots. We're over the threshold. We don't need all of this runway. Not at all. There we're down. Well, we hope everybody's enjoyed our little trip to Niagara this weekend. If I had made it last weekend, I'd have felt like I'd been rushing it. This was much more fun. Now let's see, where's our taxiway at? It's an ultralight, wherever you want. We'll park under the street lights up here. Give the grass a good mowing. There we go. Just cut the engine here. Now let's see. I think there's a battery switch. Off, off. And switch off. It even have a parachute that's not able. Well, I want to thank everybody for coming up to Niagara with me tonight. I was glad I spent some time showing off the scenery here. It's much cheaper than actually going. But man, there's a lot of stuff to look at here at Niagara. Still see the fireworks going off in the distance. And we're going to close out our show tonight on that. So for everybody that accompanied us on our journey tonight or watches this later on the VOD, thank you. Thank you very much for spending a couple of hours with a stroke survivor tonight. I appreciate it.